This is getting out of hand as the LA Clippers, according to a new report, are still trying to copy the 2019 Toronto Raptors championship winning squad. Not after one of those players, but after two guys that were on that championship winning team. And some might say, Ben, why are you roasting the LA Clippers? Because that championship squad, they won a title. They were an amazing unit put together. And, they're one of the funnest teams to watch put on a basketball court in NBA history. So why wouldn't they copy them? And sure, I see where you're coming from on that point. But, the LA Clippers should at least have some self-respect because they have gone after player after player after player from the Toronto Raptors squad. They are straight up plagiarizing Masai Ujiri at this point. And I'm an LA Clippers hater. I'm salty. I can't lie, right? I'm mad they took Kawhi. I'm mad they're still taking all of our players, but they are wanting more. They just want more and more former and current Toronto Raptors. But let's show the report. I'll break it down here. But the LA Clippers trade rumors are perking up, and they want Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, as well as Isaiah Hartenstein. They interest LA. This is coming from Kevin O'Connor, but, not one, but two. Two guys that were on that championship-winning Toronto Raptors squad, the LA Clippers want to add, and we'll discuss if that's even possible. We'll discuss if they can even acquire them, but let's go down memory lane. Let's take a history of the LA Clippers copying the Toronto Raptors, as there's a long history there, and I guess you could look far back. They picked up Patrick Patterson, they picked up Lou Williams, guys that were on the early 2010s, mid-2010s Toronto Raptors squad, but it got very egregious following, that championship season, as the LA Clippers sent front office people, members of their front office. Lawrence Frank was coming, sitting courtside, sitting in the Raptors stands, trying to recruit Kawhi Leonard, and they ended up getting him, as on a dreadful day, right, we had a Woj bomb go down. A Woj bomb went off. That I still get flashbacks, still have non-flashbacks with free agent Kawhi Leonard has informed runners-up that he's signing with the LA Clippers. And you know what? Kawhi Leonard was such a talent. I get it. I get why you'd want him. I get why you want to bring him to your roster. I get why you go all out, even if it's flat out embarrassing sending front office players to half the games in Toronto, right? I get why you want to do it because Kawhi Leonard is a franchise-changing player, especially the Kawhi Leonard we saw in that version in that 2019 season. But, after things didn't shake out, after they weren't able to replicate the magic the Toronto Raptors had, in their first season down there with the LA Clippers said, hey, we got to go all out. We got to push harder in copying the Toronto Raptors right now and stealing some of these guys. And they go out and they sign Serge Ibaka. Now, this is a hard moment for Raptors fans as well, because it's the last time in our franchise where we had a true competent center out there to run the lineups. Yes, we've had guys that can play center, right? Precious Achiuwa can play center, but he's a 4 and a 5, a mix there. Yes, we've had Baines, Alex Len. We've had Koloko, who's, a prospect who could grow into a legitimate proper center. But Serge Ibaka, Marc Gasol was the last time we've seen two legitimate centers on this Toronto Raptors squad that are veterans that can be relied upon out there to produce night in, night out. So they pick up Serge Ibaka, right? They bring him in and they say, hey, let's replicate some of this magic. Let's get this going. Let's recruit more Raptors players. But then things don't really work out that season either for the LA Clippers, right? Things aren't really shaken up. So they say, hey, let's do some more plagiarizing this Toronto Raptors team, and let's come out, let's pick up Norman Powell, right? Who wasn't on the Raptors at this point. He was traded to the Blazers, and they come out and they acquire the Raptors' former shooting guard, the guy that was the Milwaukee Buck killer, 3-point sniper, Norm God, right? He came out and they decided to acquire him. And yes, Norman Powell produced last season. Kawhi Leonard, he was injured. Things weren't looking too hot for the Clippers while Kawhi was out, but they were a solid team, and Norman Powell was able to produce. But these are the guys that they were able to acquire. These were the guys that they were able to pick up. But that's not the only players that they had their eyes on. Now, rumors have been going around left, right, and center, but there was a moment where the LA Clippers were, quote, enamored with Pascal Siakam. They were enamored with him. They were trying to acquire him. They were throwing some trade packages. This is just one of the multitude of reports that have come out about them trying to acquire Pascal. There was moments in the past, especially when Lowry was on the Toronto Raptors, they were trying to pick him up, but now things are coming back. And the LA Clippers are 500th this season, and they want more of that 2019 magic. They want more of that 2019 glory. And, I showed this report at the beginning, but they're interested in Kyle Lowry as well as Fred VanVleet. So I just want to start off with a little history lesson, a little rant about how the Clippers just need to come up with their own ideas. I know it doesn't work out when they're trying to pick up their own players and stuff, so they're trying to recreate Masai Ujiri's magic, but do something unique, LA. Stop trying to ride on the coattails of that 2019 squad. But, could one of Kyle Lowry, one of Fred VanVleet actually get traded? Well, you look at the stats, and we'll take a look at Kyle Lowry here first. 12 points per game this season, 6.5 assists, 5.5 assists. Not shooting that well from the three-point line. Again, he's dealt with some injuries and stuff. His field goal percentage is down in the dumps a little bit. So Kyle Lowry's trade value is not that high, and he's on a $30 million contract this season as well as next year. So that's looking like a tough contract that Miami Heat might want to offload. Now, report earlier came out that they said that they'd like to salary dump Kyle Lowry, try to get him away, get off his money. So maybe the LA Clippers, if could send some salary back and wouldn't have to give up that many assets. But the Heat have sort of had a resurgence in the last few weeks. They're making their way back up in the Eastern Conference. So a report has also come out that that Miami Heat aren't looking to really break up their core, but they also might just not want to come off as desperate after that report leak that they're trying to get rid of Kyle Lowry. So it would hurt me especially to see Kyle Lowry in a Clippers uniform after all the players that they stole. It just is an eyesore to see some of my favorite players end up down there in LA. That's right, I am a salty Raptors fan. I don't like the LA Clippers. I never will. I like their players. I like Kawhi. I like all those guys, but I will never like the LA Clippers. I will never root for them to win. So see the Raptors grow down there in the LA blue and whatever the heck their colors are, blue, red, and white. Wouldn't like to see it. But Fred VanVleet, obviously, his numbers are better than Kyle Lowry's this season. 19 points per game, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. 34% from the three-point line, 1.5 steals. He is a free agent this summer, so that could hurt his value or up it depending what your perspective is on that. But the Clippers, what could they offer for a potential Fred VanVleet package, right? They have some players like Zubac would be a guy that would be a nice return for the Toronto Raptors, a nice young player to bring in and actually man the center position, steal away a center back from the LA Clippers. But I don't know if I'm trading just straight up Zubac. Obviously, salary filler will also have to be in one of those deals, so maybe a Morris is included. John Wall, whatever packages, maybe a Reggie Jackson. I don't know how much value, how many assets the Clippers would want to give up, but Fred VanVleet would be a nice core piece. But again, even though my heartstrings are more attached to Kyle Lowry, and it hurts me enough to see him in a Miami Heat uniform, seeing Lowry in a Clippers uniform would make me sick. And Fred VanVleet, while he's not Kyle Lowry in my heart, right? Even though I do love me some Fred VanVleet, what are people calling him, my BF and all that sort of stuff in the comment section, right? It wouldn't hurt me as much to see him in a Clippers uniform, but it would still suck. It would still be something I'm not out here ready to see, ready to enjoy, ready to embrace. But I don't know. It's if we could get Zubac back, maybe a Botson, maybe a Terrence Mann, might be a nice return there. Especially the Clippers don't have that much draft capital either, so we wouldn't be getting a big package. It'd be more so if the Raptors don't believe that they can retain Fred VanVleet in free agency. You can get a couple assets back. That might be the play. But again, the Clippers might be reluctant to give up Zubac as they are very, very thin in their front court. They have really no big man whatsoever outside of Zubac. So they'd be dealing with a lot of the issues the Toronto Raptors are dealing with at this point if they get rid of Zubac. But I don't know. Let me know what potential trades you guys would like to see for a Fred VanVleet package going to the LA Clippers. Whip up your trade machines. But I don't know. This video is a little bit of a rant. It's a little bit of a rambly take. Game's about to start for the Toronto Raptors now. Won't be able to react to that one as it's a bit too late, but I'll get my reaction. I think I'm posting this one in the morning. Should have my take on the game, and the news video will drop later today. But folks, you guys are best to make it this far, and if you guys are interested in sports betting, are interested in making predictions, definitely use the CoolBet Sportsbook. Link is down in the description below, and you can sign up. They're a sportsbook regulated in Ontario, available all across Canada. You bet on Raptors games, specific prop bets, throughout the game, over-unders and rebounds, points, assists, really anything you want regarding a Raptors game, an NBA game, or really any sport in general. And, get some boosted odds if you use our link down below, and we might be giving a little giveaway in the next couple weeks. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And if you sign up, let myself or Goody know, right? You'll be entered into those giveaways, but we'll have more information on that in the next few days. But you guys are the best. I'm signing out. Cheers.